So, I finally figured out how to have peace all over the world, and it's gonna sound extreme, but I'm sure it'll work. Cannibalism! Don't laugh. This isn't a joke, it's a proposal. Listen, you kill someone, you eat them. You start a war, you get sent to where it's fought, the enemy brings you their dead, and you have to swallow everyone. Because most leaders aren't bad guys most of the time, but even Jimmy Carter killed more people than Alfred Packer, and after this he'd be munching on more too. It's easy to say to yourself, it's a small civilian death count when there's 1,000 good people gone forever. But it doesn't look so much like a necessary evil when it's something you're chewing on, and if you're willing to end lives for yourself, you should be able to devour the bodies too. Instead of wine and freedom fries, have liberty ribs and opportunity breasts. It's easier than having to say your enemies' names, and that way, you'll only throw the bodies up half as often. Let's work with the men we've got in power right now. Leave our administration alone in Afghanistan, because that was never their pet cause, but divvy up the innocents for the generals to find. Have them crawl where they've killed their prisoners by the thousands. They don't get air until they've eaten every one. And the president's been pretty jumpy lately, but he's nowhere near the max. Bring out the dead next press conference. Start him off with a little old lady in pieces because her family built her house where they did. Have him take bites in between questions. I don't think he should be allowed silverware. She was unarmed, and the only chaser I'd accept would be pure vinegar. Time it right so she's all down the hatch, right as a reporter's asking, so Mr. President, what was that you were saying about Iran? Then send him on an Iraqi tour and an all-you-can-eat. Go from door to door, you gotta find someone to consume because towns don't get their populations cut in half by accident. If he's lucky, maybe he'll get invited to the feast his dad has every day with his good friend Bill, and there's room at the table, there's plenty to go around, 500,000 under 5, more than that grown, but it's less than you'd think. They were starved, and since they're so small, it's like their finger food. I want to know if they still think it was worth it. And I wish I could have sent Ronald Reagan a body a day. Have a dead Nicaraguan, have a dead Afghani, have a dead Arab, have a dead Guatemalan, have a dead Haitian, and with Alzheimer's it'd feel like something new every day. You call this harsh? I call it lenient. You gotta know exactly what you're getting into. Anyone can start dropping bombs and say that they're conflicted, but it's different when you have to put every heart you stopped into your mouth. Look at someone with murdered eyes and blackened skin and realize they could have been and would have been and should have been alive if you were never born or if the timing was different and you were just sperm at the bottom of a toilet. Know that someone was murdered, shot down, blown up, fucking done, and it was all you. It's painful for you to look at what you've done as it is. But you always said we have to make sacrifices. So dig in. Woo. Woo. Woo.